This video was brought to you by Coder Camps. Make games, make money, make history. Yo, what's up? It's the one and only HipHopGamer, Hot 97 Gamers, episode 11. It's all about gears. You don't believe me? Look, it's all about gears. Look at this joint, son. Crazy? Yo, shout out to Triforce. You need to get one of these. If you hardcore, you need to have one of these. Don't talk to me unless you got one of these. This joint is crazy right here. Alright? But yes, it's all about gears. Shout out to my boy Adam Fletcher. You know what I'm saying? He was showing me the game and everything before before it came out and all this other stuff. Crazy, Horde mode. Look, I'm gonna tell you straight up before we get into this show for real. This is the best Gears that I've ever played. This Gears deserve a Game of the Year nominee, and possibly I really believe it could win it. This is Gears, and we're gonna talk about it today on Gamers episode 11. One love and God bless. Let's get it started. Check it. HipHopGamer. One time, listen up, man. Check it. Yo. People doubted me. Straight out the gate was the first mistake. 5 years in now, labeled as a heavyweight. Game industry where you the best, you get a lot of hate. Guess my black skin enhanced the way that I can elevate. I got love for all parties involved. They assassinate my character like it's part of the job. But I'm built for the battle, prepared for the worst. My results are the best cause I'm the hardest at work. You never seen a style like mine. Passion every time I grind. Hate it or love it, I'm raw and I'm rugged with punchlines. So knuckle up if you're ready for this contest. My content is quality, so quantity's the concept. A bar threat when I spit bars that's complex. Apply pressure to the competition bottlenecks. So who's next? I wanna know where your heart at. Brooklyn born bred, that's where I got my honor at. My persona is truth, that's where the love's at. Hip hop and games, we gotta bring that love back. Get down and lay down, you with me or against me. I got a third eye so I can see if you a friend of me. All I do is keep it real cause I would never back down. HipHopGamer, know the name and the fucking sound. Verbally I'm automatic, welcome to my battleground. Die for the shine, then I live in the background. Apply pressure. Gears of War 4 could win Game of the Year. It really could. So I want to start out talking about the graphics, the gameplay, the story, the features, and the fun factor. I want to talk about all of that stuff first. First with graphics. The game looks beautiful, amazing, phenomenal. Like, the game really looks great. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be honest with you. Playing so many games on PC now makes me appreciate console gaming even more in terms of what I've been seeing on the graphical side of things. Because PC obviously looks better, but the Xbox One S looks so good too. So like it's like wow, like they're able to get all this power out on this platform. And yo, it's just amazing just looking at the talent that they was able to pull off in this game, even on console. But graphically, one thing that you're going to notice about this game is the special effects. I'm talking about a lot of the levels where you have all the crazy weather, lightning striking, the lighting period, the like when you see the rain and like the wetness in the wind on the bricks and everything on the side, like the creases in the ground, the physics, the way things break apart, like even when you shooting and part of your cover is being chipped away, and just the way it looks, it doesn't just look great, it looks believable great. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, you gotta get the realness along with the detail to match, to make it feel real when you play it. You know what I'm saying? Gears of War 4 got that down to a T. To a T, man. It's crazy. So on a graphical note, I mean, even the armor, even the effect when you run in and how it moves and the things that you're seeing around you, like everything just pops. For real. So graphically, Gears of War 4 is it's the perfect representation of what Xbox One could do in terms of pulling off power. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain enemies and certain boss battles. There's one boss battle in particular, but I ain't gonna, spoil anything. But I'm just saying, there's some boss battles in this game where it's like, yo. Put it like this: if you love God of War, and you know how big their set pieces be, Gears, the Coalition kicked ass developing this game. Graphically is a beast. Now, gameplay. One of the big things, I always loved the Gears gameplay, always loved it. But this particular Gears that Coalition did, it just feels faster. It feels even more responsive. Like, it feels like you're doing everything that much more. Whereas in the other Gears games that Epic did, it felt great, but slightly sluggish. And the reason why that bothered me is because, you got to evade a lot and stuff like that. In this game, when you evade and try to get out the way so you get in cover, it just feels faster. It feels like it's happening more on time when you push the button to activate that motion. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just unbelievable when you've been playing Gears for so long. You know what I'm saying? I played every Gears of War game. So, when you've been playing Gears for so long, and then you play this one, it's really, I mean, immediately, it's like you're playing Gears, but you could tell there's a different polish. Like, there's a different signature to the feel of Gears of War now with Gears of War 4. That is crazy. That's crazy. Another thing about the gameplay that I like is not just so much of what you can do, but there's so many different enemies, and there's a lot of cool new weapons that changes the entire landscape. You know what I'm saying? And also during the actual gameplay, in terms of the single player mode, you have Horde mode situations. Even in the single player experience. So using that fabricator and doing things like that is just intense. And the action in the game, the pace of the game is so amazing because there's a lot of action, but it's enough action to leave you satisfied but not overwhelmed. So it's like, you ever had those moments like how we be playing Destiny, you going through raids or whatever it is. Like in Gears of War, you going through these crazy battles with all different types of enemies, new enemies you're gonna see in this game, and then after the battle, it's like, like you feel like you really finished the battle, and then you walk around and stuff like that, and leading up to the next battle. So the pacing and the energy is great. There's so much action, and the best thing about Gears that brings you into the action is the dialogue. There's so much conversation from beginning to end. There's so much conversation between the characters. There's so much dialogue between the characters that you feel like you're truly going through the experience with them. And not only are you going through the experience with them, but you care about who you're going through the experience with. And that's important. You want to care about who you are and who you're controlling. But Gears, they have a great way of making you care about the people that you're not controlling. Just because they're there and they're involved and engaged in conversation and talking about this, watch out that. And then there's conversation that's outside of the actual mission. There's like general conversation that you would have with somebody that's just on your team. Like, it's unbelievable. Listen, if you girls like love Uncharted, and The Last of Us, and like a lot of games that has those elements, Gears of War is a staple now of that energy and that relationship building through gameplay. Gears did it. The Coalition did it. Their name just went higher. Their stock raised up. For real. So the next thing I want to talk about is story. The Coalition, man, they did it. Like, they truly did it. So when it comes to story, obviously no spoilers. This is not only the best execution of story in any Gear series, it's also the best presentation of story. What I want to tell you is this. If you've played Gears of War 1, 2, 3, if you played them, even Judgment, But if you play Gears 1, 2, and 3, when you play Gears 4, your appreciation level, the engagement level, the true feel is uncanny. Like, you can't even put it into words, dog. It's like Gears of War 4. Yo, it has to get Game of the Year in terms of like at least a nomination. If they don't win it, I'll be surprised. But there's other games we gotta see. But Game of the Year nominee at least. It has to get it. When you play out this story, the way they explain every single detail and the way they leave you on a cliffhanger, the way they utilized and wrote the story to create, they reinvented Gears of War. Gears of War 4 is the reinvention of Gears of War franchise and where it's going. Like, just when you thought you felt the Gears of War franchise needs to die so like they can move on to another franchise, this game is proof that it don't need to die. There's so much more to it that I'm looking forward to because the way they designed the story. Phenomenal, dude. Crazy. Features in the game. Now, in terms of the features, like I said, I gotta tell y'all, like the Horde mode, like all the online modes is crazy. Like the game modes is crazy. Like that's what I really like. You know, saying the escalator and all this other stuff. Like it's insane. But I'm gonna just tell you this. When you play Horde mode, that's like my favorite right now. When you play Horde mode and you got the waves coming and you got the fabricator and you can build wherever you want to build, and then you could like move it whenever you want to move it. Like, oh my, yo, it's too addictive. Like, it is extremely addicting the way the new Horde mode is in Gears of War 4. That's my joint. That's it. That is my joint. And in terms of fun factor, it's everything that I just told you. When you put it all together, you get a chance to truly enjoy the story. You get a chance to truly enjoy the feel of the gameplay and that extra polish and that extra response time to really enjoy the control of the game. The story of the game is just, I mean, when you play through it, you'll smile. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's Gears of War 4, man. It'll leave you like how I'm left. Speechless. Now, let's talk to my man Adam Fletcher. Yo, Gamers episode 11, man. One love and God bless. Thank y'all for checking it out. Gears of War 4 is crazy. Alright? Stay tuned for the interview. Peace.
Yo, what's up? It's the one and only HipHopGamer, Hot 97. You already know what it is, man. Gears. You gotta say it like that. You know what I'm saying? Gears. You can't say this is Gears of War 4. Hell nah. You gotta say this is Gears. You already know what it is, man. First off, yo, the game is addictive.
That's awesome.
For real. The new Horde, that's the game changer. That's the game changer right there. Walk us through how that came about to, you know, make Horde better and how important it was for y'all to make multiplayer overall feel more tighter, because you do got tough competition with Destiny and all these other games.
Yeah.
So you guys definitely stepped up to the plate. So let them know who you are, what you do, and about multiplayer.
Yeah, my name is Adam Fletcher. I'm Director of Community at the Coalition, and yeah, you guys got to try out, you got to try out Horde 3.0. So it's brand new Horde experience for Gears, and what we wanted to do was get back into that, you know, that immersive gameplay that we had before from previous Gears. You know, Gears 2 had the ability of being able to kind of like build your fortifications and build your setup wherever you wanted to.
Yeah.
Gears 3 had the, you know, the defense like situation of like holding down the fort, and what we wanted to do was allow players to go back to like Gears 2, set up wherever they want to go with the Fabricator, which is this brand new system for Gears Horde. It's a giant 3D printer. You can make whatever fortifications you want, from sentry turrets to, you know, weapons lockers and things like that, and you can actually move it around wherever you want. You don't have to keep it in one spot. So if you feel like this isn't working very well, you can move it elsewhere. It's awesome. It's a ton of fun. It adds a lot more like flavor to what Horde actually brings to players. And on top of that, we added new character classes that you can actually choose from. We have, the sniper, the engineer, the scout, the heavy, and the soldier. So
that's me, the soldier. I had to say that.
Yeah. So we have 5 different character classes, and each one has different benefits, and they benefit off of each other. So it's cool because you actually have the full capabilities of doing whatever you want to do. If you want to play all 5 snipers, you can do all 5 snipers. It's completely up to you guys. Yeah.
See, you ain't say that before when we was doing the demo. I ain't know you got that. Oh my God, that's crazy. So, all right, now let me ask you this, right? When it comes to esports, thinking of this Horde mode, what would a Gears of War esports competition be like, considering the way it's designed now with Horde mode and things of that nature?
Yeah, so for esports, we're doing something big. We actually came out with a new mode. It's called Escalation. It's the first time it's ever come out in a Gears of War game, and it's fully focused on competitive gaming and esports in general. So the way it works is that there's 3 different rings on the map. It's kind of like a domination or King of the Hill style, and teams have to actually capture these rings for points. If a team captures all 3 rings at once, the game immediately ends. Or you can get all the way up to 210 points. If whatever team gets to 210 points will end up winning as well. The cool, weird element to it about it, though, is that after every single round, the losing team, whoever was the top scorer on the losing team, can actually choose where the power weapon goes on the map. So they can actually pick where they want, and they can actually team up with their, they can work with their team and go hey, we're going to put the boom shot near us because we're really good with the boom shot. Or they can actually go hey, we're going to put the boom shot over there because maybe that team sucks with the boom shot. So you can actually do different types of strategies and so forth. On top of that, what's really cool is that the opposing team doesn't actually know where that weapon goes until 1 second before the map starts, or until that round starts. So they have to immediately come up with a strategy and go whoa, they just placed the boom shot near us. What do we do now? Do we need to run to it? Do we need to grab it? Do we need to do something else? So you get all this crazy extra flavor to it. On top of that, as you go round to round, the respawns get longer and longer. So if you start dying later on in the rounds and stuff like that, you're out of the game for a long time until you respawn. So you have to make decisions where you're not actually affecting your team and what your team is actually doing. So it's pretty crazy. It adds a lot of craziness to it. There's a halftime built into it. The halftime, yeah.
Y'all hear this? This is crazy.
Yeah, halftime actually clears off the map, so it actually resets the power weapons, and then you start over again. And then at the team that gets first to 7 rounds ends up winning. So you can actually get up to a 13-round game, and it can become back and forth. It's pretty crazy. It's awesome.
That's damn, dude. That's crazy.
We've been testing it with our pro players from Optic and Envious and stuff like that, and they've been trying it out. And they used to play Execution back in the old Gears games, and now they're playing Escalation, and they don't want to go back to Execution. It's just a completely way more entertaining way of being able to bring it to fans and bring it to our professional players as well. And we have a new spectator mode now incorporated. The spectator mode is great. It allows players to actually jump between players really easily and smoothly, as opposed to before where it just kind of switched really quickly and almost gave you a slight headache as you're where am I on the map? Now it actually has a camera that will switch between players back and forth. And then on top of that, with the spectator mode, you can actually hook in a keyboard or a chat pad on your Xbox and set up, you'll have the shortcuts available on the thing, so you can actually switch between players really easily if you want to. It's really, really awesome.
Yo, you guys put in work. Seriously. So, yeah, okay, let's go to the next question, because that was a lot. The first thing is this. When I played Gears of War, as opposed to now from when y'all first released the beta, this is night and day in terms of performance, how tight it is, how it performs. What's some of the things that you guys learned from the beta this time around from the community that you guys really wanted to implement and achieve, with this version of Gears of War?
Yeah, most definitely. The beta itself was a great learning tool for us, because we wanted to get the game. It's our first Gears game as the Coalition, and it's our first Gears game on Unreal 4, and we rebuilt a lot of the elements from the past Gears games, from the weapon slides and taking cover and stuff like that in this game, in this whole new engine. And we wanted to get that out in front of everyone during the beta and make sure that we did it right, because that's the thing. We needed that feedback, and we heard a lot of feedback saying hey, this didn't feel right, tweak this here and there. At the same time, the beta was almost our pre-alpha, you could say, where visuals weren't completely up there, but we wanted to make sure that people could at least get the feeling and the movement and give us that feedback before, because we knew we were going to kick the visuals up no matter what towards the end of the game. So the multiplayer is now going to run at at 1080 at 60 frames per second. So it's going to be
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's at 1080 at 60 frames per second, and then it's also going to run all on dedicated servers as well. So no matter what, we'll have that all set up. Horde itself is also running at like a 1080, but only at 30 frames per second, because there's way more enemies on screen and so forth like that. It's a little bit more chaotic. And campaign also runs at 1080 at 30 frames per second, because we wanted to create more of a cinematic feel to it. So the graphics are going to be like a little bit more amped up in this.
So the campaign is 60 frames per second as well.
No, it's actually at 30 frames per second.
So the campaign is at the 30 frames per second, 1080p though.
Yeah, 1080. Yeah, we are using the dynamic scaling for it.
Yes.
So, but most of the game ends up running at 1080 on it.
Okay.
So.
Now I have a major question to ask you. Right now, when it comes to when you're designing Gears of War 4, and you have the Xbox One S and it can upscale to 4K, we know about that.
Yep.
But there is a Scorpio coming, right? Now, I gotta ask this because I need clarity for myself. Based on what we know of the Scorpio, what PC graphics card would you compare it to, based on what you know now? Because the whole 4K native battle, I know Scorpio is going to be stronger than PS4 Pro, but looking at Gears and looking at it run on some of the laptops that I saw at 4K, it's mind blowing. So people gonna want to see that on their Scorpio coming next year. Do you have any knowledge in terms of comparison? What does the Scorpio would be compared to in terms of the world of PC graphics cards?
I have zero knowledge.
Oh, man, that was an amazing question, man. I needed more than that. Okay. I'm gonna come at you like this, right? Okay, so Gears of War, it's not Sony. Microsoft been talking about 4K native. That's their big thing. You know what I'm saying? I got my man over here too, right there. You know what I'm saying? We go talk as well. But 4K native. So, do you think that once Gears of War 4 come out, everything is great? Will we see like a major updated version of this game to come out alongside Scorpio to give it that extra boost in fidelity to go along with the Scorpio?
I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see for sure. Like it's all going to depend on feedback we get from and how well Gears does and stuff like that with everyone. But in the end, we're focused on this specific title in this year right now. So we're not. I can't say for sure. No idea for sure. Yeah.
That would be so crazy. So now I got a tough question I want to ask you. There's a lot of competition out there, and like I said, I mentioned Destiny. Then you also got Titanfall. You also have Uncharted. You have all these other games that people love. What do you feel make Gears so special? Because to me, I remember when it first came out in 2006 on Xbox 360, and it was so powerful that it shook up the whole Sony world when Resistance came out. You know what I'm saying? Gears had that feeling. It was like the resurgence of what Halo was, but even deeper. Now we're at Gears of War 4. Coalition. It's new. It's fresh. What do you want to do and accomplish to separate yourself from the greats, to be in your own Gears league of development and talent and what the fans love?
I've always felt that Gears has always been kind of like in its own bucket. It's kind of the one of the most famous third-person shooters out there. It's genre defining. It's done a lot of things to cover systems. A lot of people feel like Gears still has the smoothest third-person type of gameplay of moving cover to cover and doing the pop out and shoot and drop.
You guys nailed that lovely, man.
And that's why I feel like Gears is always kind of in its unique bucket and will always be there. I think the nice part about Gears 4 is that we get a whole new story and we get a brand new campaign, and if someone hasn't played any of the Gears games, they can now jump into it and they get to experience it in a completely different way than like Gears 1. Gears 1, you're playing Marcus and you're playing as Dom, and you're coming out of that jail cell right in the beginning of the game and stuff like that. And what's cool is that Marcus and Dom, they already know who the Locusts are. They know who this threat is. And with Gears 4, what makes it so unique is that you're playing as JD Phoenix, who's the son of Marcus Phoenix, and then you have.
When I saw the trailer, wait, hold on. Let me tell you something right now, son. When I saw the trailer, I was like, yo, get the F-U-C-K out of this mother F-U-C-K-E-R in the world.
Yeah.
I can spell. So what I was, no, but seriously, it was that impactful. I gotta ask you this, man. When it comes to that story, is this a continuation of the early Gears, or is this a story that's gonna, kind of branch off into what we knew and create something completely different that we can experience to extend the franchise?
Yeah, it's most definitely something completely new, because you're fighting a new threat. And what's cool is like I was talking about before, is that Marcus and Dom knew who the Locusts were. JD, Kate, and Dell, they don't know who this threat is, and you're experiencing that like from the beginning, like before they even knew who they were, all the way through like fighting through them and discovering who they are. And it's a completely different experience, which makes it so good. Like this story, like it's really awesome. I'm looking forward to people jumping in and trying it.
I got 2 more questions. Now I need you to hold the microphone.
All right. Oh, it's the belt.
Yeah.
I got the belt.
You gotta hold the belt.
Yes.
You gotta hold the belt for these last 2 questions.
All right, deal.
Okay, next question. What was the first game you ever played that you feel helped lead you to where you're standing at today, working at Coalition, representing Gears of War 4, one of the most dominant, prominent franchises we've seen in our industry?
Warcraft 2 on the PC.
Get the out of here. So
Warcraft 2 on the PC.
What was your character like? Look.
So with Warcraft 2, I always played like online on like way back then before Battle.net existed and stuff like that. I played against people with my 28.8 modem and stuff like that.
Oh my
I would
God.
like my mom would she used to break all the CDs that I would buy. I went through 14 copies of Warcraft 2 because she would break through every single one, telling me
She broke it.
Oh, she wanted me to study. Of course, she was.
You know how much money you make in the game industry now? Love you, Mom. I just had to throw that out there. But that's crazy though. And now you work in the industry. Yeah. And now I just joined the world of PC now. Like I've really joined. I'm going in. Yes, it is. Like the whole Xbox Play Anywhere finally got to work. I had some problems, but I got to work. I'm ready. Now for the final question, man. Now, the Coalition, Epic Games. Epic had Gears. Now y'all have it. How important is it for the Coalition to live up to the brand name that Epic set for the Gears of War franchise? And do you think that you could actually surpass what Epic Games actually created? And the reason why I asked you that question is because currently right now, there's a lot of people, as much as they love Halo, they be like, Bungie was better than 343. You know what I'm saying? That's a big talk. Real talk. That's a big talk. Now you got Coalition and Epic. Both of them look great, but we know what Epic did. Can Coalition take that torch? There's a lot riding on this. This is an important question. Can y'all take that torch? And what do y'all want to do to give it the Coalition seasoning, like that Coalition touch? As much as we love what they did, what are you doing to give it the Coalition touch so it's accepted by fans and loved by fans just as well as it was loved by the Epic team?
Yeah, most definitely. I think what we've made is something super special, and everything that Epic has done has also like been phenomenal. I mean, we wouldn't be here without the the efforts that Epic ended up doing to the franchise. And I think Gears 4 brings that familiarity of Gears back to everything, to all the fans back there that really wanted it. Offers that fan service as well from like some of the original trilogy. So if you played through the original trilogy, you'll start to see that fan service as you're playing through, and you'll start to see these little references and everything back from the original games. And I think what's nice is that we built on that. We use the past games as the foundation, and we've really built on like new features and new ways to actually work with cover and gameplay and enemies and enemy types and how they interact with each other. We now have like a lot of extra layers on top of it that we ended up incorporating from our side that we feel like really enhance the experience. So yeah, we're pretty stoked. I can't wait.
Dude, I can't wait. When does it come out?
Comes out on October 11th of this year, and then October 7th for anyone that pre-orders the Ultimate Edition, because they get it a little bit early. Yeah.
So look, man, one love and God bless your boy HipHopGamer on your hot 9-7 every day. That's my word. On the count of 3, we just gotta say Gears real hard. All right, 1, 2, 3, Gears. And we out of here, baby. Peace.